Hey YouTube, 837 South Jersey here. Alright, I'm going to do a quick little power test on each of these little handhelds here. They're all just regular CB radios. This one will do AM, FM. It'll do different bands or different countries, if you will. This is just AM, old school. This is AM, but this has a high and low power setting. Well, so does this. This has a high and low. They're all set for channel 20. My meter's set for the 20-watt scale. I'm going to start off with the president on each power setting. I'm going to do a dead key. I'm going to do voice, modulation. And then I'm going to do the famous whistle that nobody ever does. But just to see the max power that these things can pump out. So here we go. I got this one set to low. So you can see the little L 20-watt scale dead key. About 1 watt. Audio. Hello, 1, 2, 3. Swings almost 2 watts. Almost 4-watt swing there. I'm going to set it to high. Got the little H there. Dead key. 4 watts. Audio. About 5.5 watts. About 8 or 9 watts. All right, let me switch adapters here because this one is the only one that takes a different type of adapter. Now, my SMO, not SMO, PL239 or 59, whatever this is, adapter is this one's bad. I don't know if you can see it, but this one's sloppy inside, so I had to manufacture 2 different adapters to make one good adapter. All right, so I'm gonna start off with the Uniden on low. I'm receiving, that means it's good. All right, low power, dead key, about 0.5 watt. Audio, swinging about 1 watt. Audio, whistle. Swings almost 2 watts, 1.5, 2 watts. All right, turn it up to high. Yep, we're on high. Dead key, about 1.5 watts. Audio, swinging about 2.5 watts. About 3.5 watt swing. We'll call it 4. All right, let me put you down again. Swap radios. Now this QYT, this thing feels amazing in your hand. It's got some heft to it. I'll show you in a second why I hate it. And I'm not the only person that has this issue. This does not have a high and low setting as far as I know. I went through every menu, goodness, receiving every menu option possible. But anyway, right now I'm on AM, 20-watt scale dead key, about 3 watts. Audio, swings about 3.5, 4 watts, which is awful. Just about 5 watts. And you know what? Let me take this adapter off and go to the stock antenna. All right, this is why I don't like this radio, and I'm going to show you why. And it doesn't matter, actually. This isn't the stock antenna, but the antenna that I had on it was for the Uniden. That's the Uniden stock antenna. And this is why I hate this radio. Are you ready? Receiving on AM. Receiving on AM channel 20. I'm gonna turn the volume about halfway. Not too high. All right. It transmits, right? I hear it transmitting. Audio, 1, 2, 3. Is that as loud as this thing can talk? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. This is awful. And it is on AM. It says it's on AM. Let's receive an FM now. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. This thing is transmitting on FM, even though it says it's in AM. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now let's switch to FM. FM. 1, 2, 3. No difference. FM. I'm a little too close to the receiver. A little too close. Just a little bit. Let's turn the RF gain down. That didn't help. Still didn't help. Alright, whatever. All the way up. 1, 2, 3. Audio. Alright. Now let's transmit back in AM. Receive, and you know what? Let's go to the old trusty Cobra. Whoa, a little too loud there. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Audio. I know I'm too close to the radios. I know. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Audio. Let's receive on another radio. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. It's way off frequency. That's what it sounds like to me. And or it's transmitting in FM. FM. I'm transmitting in FM. This thing is off frequency. Okay. Now let's transmit with a normal radio. Old school, trusty. Let's even do it on low. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so the audio is not great, but it's a lot better than the QYT. Now, let's go to the Randy. The Randy has amazing audio qualities, in my opinion, for a stock handheld. Low power. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's turn the volume up. 1, 2, 3. Audio. Hello. It sounds like I'm transmitting from a base station or a mobile, not a handheld. This is awesome. Of course, you all like that Roger beep. Let's do the unit one more time. 1, 2, 3. It still sounds good. It's a little high pitched, and it picks up a lot of that. Picks up a lot of my breath. But anyway, all right. That's one thing out of the way. Next thing is one of my subscribers found me on YouTube, obviously, or else he wouldn't have subscribed. I'm not going to say any names. I'm not going to tell you who he is because it's not my business to say. But he is a ham operator, and he's a really cool guy. He happens to live a 3-minute drive from my house. Now, I traded a radio for a Yaesu FT107M. Awesome radio. I'm not licensed yet, although I do plan on getting my license before Christmas of this year. Now, the radio I traded, I wasn't really ready to give that radio up, but it was my TRC 458, which I'm sad it's gone, but I'm glad to know it went to a good home. But anyway, this Yaesu FT107M, it'll do from 160 all the way to 10 meters. I guess there's A, B, C, and D. It does a lot that I'm not used to because I'm not a ham operator. But anyway, that's how it goes. I'll figure it out. I'll have to learn. He gave me the user manual. He gave me the owner's manual, all this paperwork that goes with it. You may have also noticed on my desk, move these out of the way. He gave me the microphone too, and a little, I forget what that's called. Little guard there for your breath. Takes the breath out of it. You know what I mean. Turn it off. I got a DNA, a Maverick. So 4-tube, dual power. I think it's a Maverick 250. Now the guy who I traded an amp for an amp, I traded I'm not going to tell you what I traded for it, but let's just say it was more worth it for me than it was for him, but he was just trying to get rid of this thing because it was massive. Now this is 120 volts. It doesn't take 12 volt power, so that's not an issue. Now he lives about 5 or 6 minutes down the road from me, and he's not a YouTube subscriber of mine, but he's a good friend of mine that I talk to on the radio all the time. The day I brought this home, he bench tested it for me. He was showing me how it works. He was driving it with a little, I want to say it was a realistic little 3.5 watt mobile radio. It was about 3.5 watts, and on his dosing meter, that thing was swinging on high about 250, 300 watts, give or take. I don't really remember. It was about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. Well, I bring it home. I hook it up, plug it into my Cobra 142, which is a lot more than 2 watts, or 3.5 watts. Let's see. My amp is off. All right, I guess it's not a lot more. It's about 2.5 watts. Audio, swinging almost 15 watts. That's a good swinging radio. Well, I don't know what I did. I don't know what's going on, but I'm only getting 50 watts out of this thing, and I let it warm up. I had it on. I had it on high. I tuned it. You have to tune it every time you, pretty much every time you change channels on your radio. You don't really have to, but it'll put more, it'll produce more power if you tune it every time you change stations. But regardless, I'm only getting 50 watts out of this thing, and I don't know why, but it doesn't matter. That amp that I gave him was just sitting on my shelf, not being used. But now I have a tube radio and a tube amp, so I'm happy. Maybe one day I'll figure out what's going on with it, but for right now it's just sitting. For the Cobra, I use my Dave made M80, which I'll show you what that does. I may or may not have already shown you what it does. As you saw, it swings about 15 watts. I have it on the 200 watt scale, so the 20 watt scale times a lot. Audio. So I'm getting about 65, 70 watt dead key. Audio. And I'm just touching 200 watts. So let's do a little whistle. I gotta hold the microphone in my hand. Yeah, even with a whistle, I'm just over 200 watts, and that was on the 2,000 watt scale. Yeah, 2,000 watts. So Anyway, I think that's pretty much it as far as an update goes. I made shelving for certain things. My cabinet's full of walkie-talkie parts and, little things that I don't need out. Of course, I've been doing a lot of work around here. Doing a lot of... I got the Cobra 138 XLR. It transmits, but it's not sending out no power. No power, no swing at all. Don't know what's wrong with that. I got this for free along with a bunch of parts, other part radios. I got this for free. It's extremely dirty. Let's see. Whoops, that's got a cord attached to it now. Yeah. Extremely dirty. It's pretty clean inside. Well, that doesn't belong in there. It's clean inside, pretty dust-free for the most part. But anyway, it's not really a project of mine, but I might try to get it to work because it is a 40-channel sideband radio, and it's a 4-pin. I think it's a Taiwan or something. It's not the Philippines, but anyway, yeah, that's it for now. That's all I got for you. I got some cleaning up to do around here because I've been doing a lot of testing and stuff like that. So, all right, that's it. 837 73s.